In the name of Allah, Assalamu alaikum. Dear student, in today's lecture we will study that how we calculate the total amount of ATP produced from complete breakdown of one glucose molecule. So let's start our lecture. How many ATP molecules are produced from complete breakdown of one glucose molecule? Dear student, as we know that the process of glucose breakdown occurred in different portion of a cell. So first of all, we will draw a basic diagram of a cell so that we can understand that which process of glucose breakdown occurred in which portion of a cell. For example, this is the basic diagram of animal cell. This is, for example, double membrane bonded organelle, mitochondria. Outer membrane. This is, for example, inner membrane, and this is a matrix portion of mitochondria. So as we know that the glucose breakdown start from the process of glycolysis. Glycolysis means that when a glucose molecule cross the semi-permeable of cell membrane and reach toward the cytosol portion, which is the portion between nuclear membrane and cell membrane, this the breakdown of this glucose molecule start by the process of glycolysis. Glyco means glucose and lysis means breakdown. Basically, the process of glycolysis divided into two portions. One is called preparatory phase and another is called oxidative phase. During preparatory phase, for the initiation of glycolysis process, usually 2 ATP are used. As for the initiation, 2 ATP are used, so we will write the minus sign toward that 2 ATP are used to initiate the process of glycolysis. Also, during oxidative phase, total 4 ATP are produced. Plus sign mean that total 4 ATP are produced. So the net gain minus 4, 2 ATP will be minus from 4. So the net gain of ATP from the process of glycolysis is 2. Total 2 ATP are produced after the net gain, which is called substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation. Remember in your mind that during the process of glucose breakdown, total 2 types of ATP are produced. One is called substrate level phosphorylation, in which phosphate group from the substrate directly transferred toward ADP and GTP to produce GTP and ATP, guanosine triphosphate and adenosine triphosphate. Mean phosphate group is directly transferred from substrate toward ADP and GTP. And another is oxidative phosphorylation, which is also called enzyme which is also called electron linked phosphorylation, which occurred inside the inner membrane of mitochondria, where by the process of phosphorylation the coenzyme NADH2 and FADH2 are converted into ATP, oxidative phosphorylation. So total 2 ATP substrate level phosphorylation occurred inside the cytosol portion from the process of glycolysis. Along with this, 2 coenzyme mean NADH2 is also produced during the oxidative phase of glycolysis. Now, remember in your mind our very basic question now, that sometimes we say that one glucose molecule produces 36 ATP, and sometimes we say that one glucose molecule produces 38 ATP. It will depend on NADH2 which is produced inside the oxidative phosphorylation. Here 2 shuttles are present, so that this NADH2 which is produced inside the oxidative phase of glycolysis move toward the inner membrane of mitochondria. 2 shuttle down. 1 shuttle down is called glycerol 3 phosphate shuttle down, in which one NADH2 molecule produces 2 ATP. Okay, and another shuttle down is called malate aspartate shuttle down, in which from one NADH2 molecule total 3 ATP are produced. So as we know that NADH2 from the portion of cytosol cannot directly cross the semi-permeable membrane of mitochondria. Mean it cannot directly cross the inner membrane of mitochondria. So due to these 2 shuttle down pathway, which is 1G3 glycerol 3 phosphate shuttle down and one is malate aspartate shuttle down, these molecules are reduced, and after reduced they will enter or they will cross the inner membrane of mitochondria, so that they should move toward the inner membrane of mitochondria for the process of phosphorylation. Okay, 2 shuttle down, remember in your mind. So this is the total calculation from the process of glycolysis, 2 ATP substrate level and 2 NADH2 molecule. As we know that the process of glycolysis produced total 2 pyruvate molecule. The 2 pyruvate molecule before entered the Krebs cycle, first of all convert into acetyl coenzyme A. So here we will before this that we will reach toward the metric portion where Krebs cycle occur. Another reaction is also present, which is called linked reaction. Linked because it connects the glycolysis process which is occurring inside the cytosol toward the 2 Krebs cycle which is occurred inside the matrix of mitochondria, linked reaction. So the 2-pyruvate from glycolysis process will convert into 2-acetyl coenzyme A. Here remember in your mind that here also 2NADH2 molecule are produced. One pyruvic acid will produce one molecule. As we know that we have 2 pyruvate molecule, mean 2 acetyl coenzyme A molecule are produced. So total 2 NADH2 molecule are produced inside the linked reaction. Now another process which is occurred inside the mitochondrial matrix is called Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle start when the 2-acetyl coenzyme A molecule enter inside the matrix of mitochondria. Coenzyme are released and acetyl group are enter inside the matrix portion of mitochondria. So from the two molecule of acetyl coenzyme A. First of all, we will calculate from one molecule, then we will multiply it by 2 because we have total 2 acetyl coenzyme A which is entered inside the Krebs cycle. So for one molecule, total 3 NADH2 molecule are produced. For more information, remember in your mind that one NADH2 molecule is produced between third and fourth step. Another is between first NADH2 molecule is produced between second and third. The second is produced between third and fourth. Between third and fourth, one GTP molecule is produced, and between fifth and sixth step, FADH2 molecule, one FADH2 molecule is produced, and between 7 and 8 step, one another NADH2 molecule is produced. So total 3 NADH2 molecule and one FADH2 molecule is produced from the from breakdown or from oxidation of one pyruvate molecule. We have 2 pyruvate molecules, so we will multiply it by 2. So total 3 multiplied by 2, so total 6 NADH2 and 2 FADH2 molecule are produced. As we know that, okay, another thing that one ATP molecule is also produced inside the Krebs cycle on substrate level. As I have already mentioned that substrate level mean that phosphate group directly transfer from phosphate group toward ADP, adenosine triphosphate, to form ATP, mean adenosine triphosphate. So 1 ATP substrate level. Now let's we will write the total calculation. Glycolysis, 2 ATP on substrate level and 2 NADH2, which is 2 shuttle down. From 1 shuttle down, it is converted into 2 ATP, and from another shuttle down, 1 molecule of NADH2 is converted into 3 ATP. So as we have 2 NADH2, so we will multiply it by 2. So total 4 ATP or 6 ATP according to malate aspartate settle down will be produced. 2 and 4. Okay, one thing remember in your mind that these coenzyme which is produced inside the process of glycolysis or linked reaction or Krebs cycle can convert it into ATP inside the inner membrane of mitochondria by the process of electronic transport chain. Now we will calculate the total amount of ATP from Krebs cycle. When these coenzyme A molecule are enter inside the electronic transport chain, then they will convert into ATP by the process of phosphorylation. So here one NADH2 molecule produces 3 ATP is produced inside the malate aspartate. One NADH2 molecule is converted into 3 ATP. So 6 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6 multiplied by 3 is equal to 18. And 2 multiplied by if you do is 2 will always produce 2 ATP. Remember in mind, if it is 2 is it present inside the glycolysis or inside the Krebs cycle will always produce 2 ATP. So 2 multiplied by 2 because 1 if it is 2 molecule produce 2 ATP. So total 4 ATP are produced. Okay. This is for example 1, question number 1. Here we have also missed another reaction, linked reaction in which 2 NADH2 molecule are produced. So 2 NADH2 will produce 6 ATP. 2 multiplied by 3. Only remember in your mind that from shuttle down 1 mean glycerol 3 phosphate NADH2 molecule produce 2 ATP. All in other case NADH2 will produce 3 ATP from 1 molecule. So here inside the link reaction in which 2 NADH2 molecule are produced, when these coenzyme enter inside the inner membrane of mitochondria, when enter inside the inner membrane of mitochondria during phosphorylation, these NADH2 molecule will produce 6 ATP. Okay, dear student, as we have mentioned that a different process of glucose breakdown will occur in different portion of the cell produce different amount of ATP. Now at the end we will calculate the total amount of ATP. From glycolysis, total 2 ATP on substrate level and 6 or 4 ATP will produce on oxidative level. So simply we will write glycolysis, 2 ATP directly will form on substrate level and 4 or 6 ATP will formed from a coenzyme. Inside the linked reaction, we have 2 NADH2 molecule, so total 6 ATP molecule are produced. Krebs cycle will produce 2 ATP on substrate level, and from this 6 and 2 NADH2 molecule, total 18 from 6 NADH2 molecule and 4 from FADH2 molecule are produced. Now, for example, one glucose will produce one glucose molecule will produce, for example, we say that one glucose molecule will produce 36 ATP. How? According to shuttle down 1, 36 ATP molecule will produce. So 2 plus 4, 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 18 plus 4. 6 plus 6, 12 plus 2, 14. And this 4 also add with 14, 18. And 18 plus 18 will make 36 ATP molecule. According to glycerol 3-phosphate shuttle down. According to malate aspartate shuttle down, one glucose will produced. Now here we will write for 1 NAD, for 2 NADH2 molecule 6 ATP, 6. Here we will write 4. Now here we will write 6. 6 here also. Okay. Glucose molecule. Here again 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Okay. Now 2 along with the 6, total 8 ATP plus 6 plus 2 plus 18 plus 4. So 6 plus 8, 14 plus 2, 16 plus 4, 20 plus 18 is equal to 38 ATP molecule. So one main and basic question that student usually ask from his or her teacher, that how one time we say that one glucose molecule will produce 36 ATP, and one time we say that one glucose molecule will produce 38 ATP. This whole process depends that NADH2 which is transferred toward the inner membrane will follow which process, glycerol 3-phosphate shuttle down or malate aspartate shuttle down to reach toward the inner membrane of mitochondria. I think it is enough for today. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz.